real quickly, I sent out a 3% to subscribers on the under in this early game. Under 4.5, Arizona, Miami. So they got under 4.5, Arizona and Miami. I gave it out at -15. Good to -120. I'd lay even up to -125 on that. That's a 3% play. I sent out a 4% play as well. That's later tonight. But here's what we got as far as some steam in Major League Baseball. Overnights, Pittsburgh, 954 at -115, -120. Had follow through today. Betted at 125, betted at 130. We stopped. But I don't know who came in and kept hitting it, because 135 seems like it got hit. 140 got hit. 145 got hit. So I don't know if there's some players sitting or what. But we backed off, and somebody just kept blasting the Pittsburgh side. We also bet the overnight on Philadelphia, -155 and -160. I saw that got followed through today all the way up to -170. We didn't bet any of it today. 957. Where's that 957? St. Louis and the Mets. Yes, under 8.5 at -125, all the way to -130 last night. Then this morning, laid a little vig to go under 7.5 as well. White Sox game 960. Last night +140. This morning +135. Saw it again on my screen light up +130. So that got bought up too on the White Sox. Baltimore 962. Baltimore +110. Baltimore +105. That was last night. Even money this morning, and then -105. I think another one that got bet as well. Seems like all the groups are mostly on the same sides. It's just a matter of when you're going to get down. Also, the over in that Baltimore game last night, over 8, all the way up to -130. And then this morning at, I think, -105 and -110 on the over in the Baltimore game. KC Detroit game 963, under 8.5, up to -135 last night to get that 8.5. And then this morning, they laid -110 to go under the 8. So they really like that under in KC. Detroit Yankees as a dog, +110, +105. Those got wiped out last night. I saw some even money this morning, and now they're thinking about -105, -110. So somebody else thinks that the Yankees at worst are around the coin flip. And finally, 968, LA Angels and Texas. We bet the under 9.5 at even money, all the way up to -120. I see a lot of 9.5 still out there. They haven't gone down to that key number of 9. Gives me the feeling that it's one of those matchups where it's sharps versus the public, where the public's going over heavily and they're getting some sharp money on the under, because usually around those key numbers, I said it, 7, 9, 11, as soon as a sharp account gets bet into, taking advantage of those numbers, they go right down to the number, meaning we go under 9.5, it's 9 before you know it. Over 7, 7.5 immediately. That's what usually happens, but that did not happen in this LA Angels and Texas game, and I'll give it to you as well. I bet the under also in the first 5. That I thought had a ton of value. I got 5.5 actually at -120, but the number they were looking at, if I could get them plus money, even money at worst, to go under 5 in that LA Texas game. So they like the under 5 and also full game under 9.5. But again, I wasn't part of that under 9.5 group, but I share information with guys that move for other groups.
He's mostly betting dogs, and my ears kind of perked up there, because that's usually a telltale sign of a sharp, especially in baseball, that they're betting dogs. I mean, today, for instance, Miami +141, White Sox +139. There's two-way on Pirates -131, Nationals +139. Then two-way on Seattle, Cincy, Seattle +115 or more, Cincy -109. So, more often than not, dog's the way to go in baseball.
Right now, looking at my Odds Logic live odds screen, Texas -145, -150. I think we'll call the prevailing number -150. Total in this game sitting at 9.5. LA's 2-1 with Kanchanowicz on the hill. Last year as a rookie, he got bombed his first 2 starts. He gave up 12 runs in 7 innings. And then it was 8 quality starts in his last 9 outings, including 2 against these same Rangers. He pitched well in his 2025 debut against the White Sox, had a decent start against the Guardians next try. Last outing, he got bombed, really bombed for the first time since those 2 starts of the season last year. I think it's a pretty decent bounce back opportunity for him. I mean, he's a ground ball pitcher, not a strikeout pitcher. The guys that don't get strikeouts don't get much love in the betting marketplace. And therefore, when you find a starting pitcher that doesn't get the strikeouts and gets the results, those are guys that I consider to be value hurlers. Of course, Kumar Rocker's been pretty awful too. He's got 6 starts at the big league level last year and this year. And in those 6 starts, he's finished the 5th inning once. He's been smacked around twice in 3 starts this season. And he's another non-strikeout pitcher looking for ground ball outs. All right. Last time out, retired the side in order in the 1st inning, and then 8 of the next 14 hitters got on base against him. He is not a hurler that we love right now. That being said, everyone talks about how good his stuff is. And same story with Konchanowicz, who's been, who's shown last year that he can beat Texas, that he can get into a rhythm. And neither one of these teams is hitting right now. All right. The Rangers lineup has, I'll call it underachieved so far. And the Angels, they scored 1 run in the first 2 games of this series combined. They scored 4 or less in 7 of 8 on the current road trip. Johnny was talking about earlier. First half under 5 first 5 innings, under 9.5 full games. The Sharp have already bet it, and I certainly agree with that assessment. Lineups that we don't love, pitchers who may be a tad or 2 bit undervalued here, and 2 teams that just aren't hitting particularly well. Look under 5 first half, 9.5 full game for the Angels and Rangers tonight. And let's talk about the Heat and the Hawks. And as you mentioned, this game bouncing around pick'em. I'll say right now, Atlanta, if I'm going to call the line right now, Atlanta -1, total 219. There is some variance on that. In fact, I'm seeing Miami favored at a handful of books, pick'em at others. But the prevailing line as we talk, Hawks -1. And playing game history says we're supposed to look first at the 7-8 team that lost on the road, now playing at home, versus the 9-10 winner hitting the highway. The short history of the NBA play-in game. But in recent years, the team that lost on the road that now gets the home game tends to be bet on. That's the first way I'm going to look. Of course, the Hawks also have an extra day to prepare. And they're coming off, as you mentioned, that wire-to-wire smackdown loss to the Magic. They were non-competitive in the first quarter. It never got any better. The Trae Young meltdown thrown out of the game. I get it. From a spot standpoint, the Hawks have extra time. They're coming off the type of loss that we like to back teams after. And I don't want Atlanta here. Miami's the far more balanced, mature team than the Hawks. They're the better defensive team, and it starts in the postseason with defense. The full season stats are going to show Miami number 11 in defense efficiency, Atlanta number 19. The eye test and current form says the disparity is a good notch or 2 bigger than that. And we're talking about Eric Spoelstra versus Quinn Snyder in a 1-game elimination tournament. That's a coaching mismatch if there ever was one. Spoelstra with rings, Snyder has no rings for a reason. All right. And Miami's not the same team that they've been for the last few weeks. Why? They got Andrew Wiggins back in the lineup. Wiggins matters for that squad. When Terry Rozier is getting DNP coaches' decisions, that's a good thing for Miami, not a bad thing. All right. And of course, Davion Mitchell, obviously, it was someone that you liked yesterday, Andy, an elite defender. He's had a career revitalization since arriving from Toronto. He's someone we like, perhaps, to give Trae Young some problem. Now, Miami's weakness is offensive droughts. That's why they've blown so many fourth quarter leads this year. But Atlanta's defense doesn't force fourth quarter droughts. The 2 recent meetings, the Heat won 131-119 and 122-112. They're not having problems offensively against a defense of this caliber. And we talk about Atlanta's home court. Is it worth anything? Not that much. They lost 19 times at home this year. I think they lose again on Friday night.
I love it, Teddy. That Trae. So I used to officiate basketball, and I used to do these men's leagues, which were awful. It was grown men that come out and just, would yell and scream at each other and scream at the refs. I in all my years, I never had one of those guys do what Trae Young did the other night. It was, I've never seen that in an NBA game. Did that? Have you seen anything like that in a spotlight? A marquee guy that's supposed to be a franchise guy do anything like that? That was crazy.
I'll leave it at this. All right. I'd rather have my player give a shit than not give a shit. And Trae Young gives a shit. Was it a mature move? No. But does he care? Yes. And I'd rather have a guy that cares than a guy's like, whatever. Atlanta cares. They're just not good enough. So when we talk about the Clippers and Nuggets, I want to ask you a question, Andy. I want to bring you back in right here. Have you talked to anyone anywhere that likes Denver in this game? Mentioned it. Oh, I kind of like Denver, because I haven't seen a soul. I mean, not one person has been like, oh, yeah, Denver's the play here. Every person, Clips.
The Clippers are it's like they're the shiny new toy to end the season. It was like we shelved, Kawhi, and now all of a sudden now there's healthy Kawhi. It's like they played this season perfect. So I think there's a little bit of, we've been there, done that with the Nuggets. They're not the sexy pick anymore. It's like, oh, really? We're going to give Jokic another MVP? Like, it's kind of boring. The Clippers, believe it or not, a team with Kawhi Leonard and James Harden are like the new, like kind of thing. But you're right. Everyone's in on the Clippers, and I'm just here to warn everybody: you are depending on James Harden in the playoffs and Kawhi to stay healthy. You have been warned.
I mean, just for game one. There's not a so. I mean, you know me. I'm about town. I haven't heard one person make a case for Denver. Not here in Vegas. Not anyone I talk to anywhere. All right. And certainly, when we think about conceptually what's going on here, all right. 2 years ago, the Nuggets were champions. All right. They just fired their head coach 3 games ago, saying we want to win right now. All right, there's no dilly-dallying. It's right now. You talk about lighting a fire under your team's ass. Well, that's the way to do it. So I understand the Nuggets very mediocre over the back half of the season. They were a 500 team after the All-Star break. They certainly didn't play their best basketball. Of course, they were dealing with a number of injuries, which in theory here, they should be as healthy as they've been at any point over the back half of the season. And I'll tell you what. We talk about the first weekend of the playoffs. These 4-game Saturday, 4-game Sunday, game ones. I want to lay points. I don't want to take points. I have no hesitation laying points in these game ones. At the end of the weekend, we're going to see the home teams in game ones win 5, 6, 7 games in straight up fashion, at least, probably more. And the casual bettors are all shocked that Denver's the favorite over the surging Clippers. Remember, and the beauty of the Clips, they play great ball February down the stretch, March. And everyone just paid attention when they beat the Warriors the other night. They're like, oh, yeah, they're playing good ball. They're 8-0 their last 8, 18-3 their last 21. One of the 3 losses came by a single bucket against OKC. Another one of them came in a spread-covering loss to Cleveland. This team's been playing elite basketball for 2 months. If you've been back, it'd be made a fortune. But the betting public just saw him on TV the first time. Oh, the Clips. All right. And, of course, since Kawhi had his minutes restrictions limited, Clips top 3 in offensive efficiency, top 3 in defense efficiency. So all these cases for the Clips, right? Ben Simmons and Bogdanovich off the bench. There's a well-constructed squad. Ty Lue won a title in Cleveland. Dave Letterman has a famous father being an NBA head coach for less than 2 weeks. I get all the love for LA. But the last time, and of course, the big win against the Warriors in their last game. The last time the Clips had any time off came over the All-Star break. They came back, were awful. They lost 3 straight games. It was the week off was not good for them. It hurt them. And Denver is not a pushover. This is a championship caliber team. I think the Nuggets win game 1. I want to lay points in game 1, not take them. Denver's favored here for a reason. And if you want the Clippers, I think your best opportunity, series price, will be after they lose game 1 in Denver. Give me the Nuggets minus a spot.
Here is a big number. It's a 175 here for the Phils over the Giants, who've, again, off to a nice start, the Giants. Like, second place? Who had them in second place behind the Padres instead of the Dodgers? 175, I'm not going to tell you coming in late 175 ever. That's not going to happen. I'm going to attack this a different way here with Jordan Hicks on the mound. Now, this is a young kid. They're slinging him back and forth between the bullpen and starting. He started in 2016, 2017. He's a starter. No, let's make him a reliever. He's been yo-yoing back and forth starting out this year for the Giants. Astros, okay, he held down the Astros. That's okay. The Astros lineup, to me, not good. I think they're not a good team this year, the Astros. Seattle, you gave up 3 runs and 5 runs to Seattle, another light-hitting team. You face the Yankees on the road, 8 hits in 4 innings, 7 runs. That is more of a Philly lineup than it is a Seattle and a Houston lineup. So he hasn't been effective this year in his short 3 starts. Last year, the same. Again, you're stretching the guy. It's going to take a while to get there. I'm going to look at, and again, for you, you could either look at a run line here for Philly, because Philly, they're 10-8. Nothing sexy about him. But Sanchez is picking up where he left off last year. He's just solid, nothing fancy. He's going to go 5+ innings there, give up a run or two. You could do a run line here. If you prefer a run line, you could go 120. Although I see the -1, which, again, I'm a greedy guy. People are like, oh, you do a run, you do -1, it's 125. I don't like to go over like a 140. So I guess for the official Wager Talk pick here, I'll go -1 with Philly here. As opposed, who the hell am I kidding? 125. We're going all the way here with the run line, Andrew. I'm going to say I can't come on and take a -125. I can't do it. I'm laying a run and a half here. Again, this is just a play against Hicks. Right now, I look like everybody should be playing, although we might get a guy or two sit out, and I understand we might lose a Schwarber or a Harper or one of these guys. I don't think it's to make a difference because Hicks overall has not been good. Phillies are still a veteran bunch, a lot of veteran hitters, professional hitters, as I say. So I'm going to go run line here with the Phils. Stay away from the total. Late afternoon game, you got shadows and that stuff, and I don't want to do that. But I think the Phillies are going to be good for a 4 or 5 spot here, especially if they got beat up a little last night. So give me the Phils run line. Call it a +120 I see here.